Good afternoon, life group leaders. Thanks for tuning into this video. For those of you that are, this is a quick announcement regarding tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we're going to start back with our life groups strong, and we're gonna start running and charting our course pretty quickly. And so, for those of you that are new or this is your first time leading a life group, I'm excited to have you on board. We are in need of two more leaders, and so my prayer is going to be finding and maybe finding a backup leader by tomorrow. We really need another guy and we really need another girl, and so but God knows that and He'll provide. So tomorrow I have no idea what the numbers are going to be. We're assigning today your groups, and so you'll get an email from me tomorrow regarding what that group structure is, and then tomorrow night latest you'll get your information sheets with the students' information, their life group form in them if they've turned them into us. And so know that we're working on that. But we do have the first life group a message done for you guys. We have the outline for you and the sermon for tomorrow. That's all it. So I'm going to spend just a minute. We're going to talk about that, what the sermon is tomorrow, what the main points are, the points and the questions that you're going to focus on, and then I'm also going to send you an outline for the whole entire fall semester. So for all 12 weeks that we actually meet and do life group, I've got where I'd like to go mapped out, and so I'm just going to tie you in and allow you to see that document in your email. And if you really can't sleep at night, you can read over that. Or if you like to plan ahead like me, then you can look over the main points of where we're going. But for tomorrow night, for the 30th, we're going to be talking about the fact that God provides salvation, and that should motivate us to go make disciples for Him. So that's the key question. And if you have your document in your email, you can open that up and follow along with me. The key question we're answering is what should motivate us to make disciples for Jesus? This whole series we're talking about motivation. We're talking about what should inspire us to go make disciples. We've heard the call to go make disciples. We talked about that last year. Well, why? Why should I go out into this world and make disciples? The first big point, and the big point tomorrow, is simply this: we should make disciples because we were dead people that God raised to life in Jesus for that purpose. And that's really the main point. There's a couple cool questions, and I'm just walking down the application sheet. You guys can do this tomorrow or watch this video and hear these questions. First question is, which description of those outside of Christ stands out to you and why? The descriptions in Ephesians 2, the verse we're unpacking, it defines us outside of Christ as dead, followers of the world, followers of Satan, those who live carrying out the desires of the body and the mind. It calls us children of wrath. It says that we're like everyone else in the world. The point in that question is, what I love students to think of is, man, life outside Christ is not pretty. Right? We're dead people. We're followers of Satan. In fact, we're dead followers of Satan like everybody else. That sounds like some bad rock band, and that's who we are outside of Christ. And so that's what I want them to see in that question. Right after that, the second question is, what description of those inside of Christ stands out to you? Well, Ephesians 2 tells us we are alive, we're saved, we're raised, we're seated with Christ, we're eternally valuable in the same way that Christ is eternally valuable. And so he won that for us. Then the next question is, how can you know for sure that you are currently saved? So here's a dead man, and here's what Ephesians 2 says is we're alive. How can you know you're alive in Christ? And that's that question for you and your groups, especially those of you that don't have Christians in your groups. You have students that don't know the gospel. This is an awesome opportunity to see what their answers are, and maybe to field those answers and say, Johnny, that's close, but I don't think that's right. I think you're missing it. What's this verse say? It says, for by grace you've been saved through faith in Jesus, not going to church, not anything else. So the fourth question under application is one that you can utilize to really present the gospel. And I'll talk more about that in just a second. And then, of course, why should salvation motivate us to live for Christ, to make disciples for Him? We're going to bring home the fact tomorrow night that we should make disciples for Christ because We were created for that purpose. We were saved for that purpose. When you're given a gift like a new car, there is an immediate purpose that goes along with that gift, right? If you're given a free car ever for your 16th birthday, you want to do what? Drive it, right? And so we're given this gift of salvation as Christians, and that gift should motivate us to live for Christ, to start living. Same thing, if my heart was dead or my liver was dead from, cirrhosis of the liver, and I was given a new liver, what should I start doing? I should start living, right? That's why I was given that. Not just so I can sit back and do nothing. Well, same thing. Salvation should motivate us. Salvation is not an invitation to sit. It should be a motivation to go make disciples for Jesus. That's it. That's the point. If you've watched for this time 5 minutes and 47 seconds, then I'm glad that you've gotten that, because that's what we're going to land on tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. It's a heavy lesson. It's a clear lesson, and I pray that your groups go well as you discuss it. At the end of our prayer request time, I've left a question, for you to pray for the students, and then and you might ask your students tomorrow, are there any of you who need to talk about salvation after this message? And you might have a time of sharing with someone that God's stirring in their soul. And so I'm going to include as well tomorrow night a life group icebreaker question sheet. If you feel uncomfortable with jumping right in and you would like to use some general questions and tell students about who you are and stuff, I'm going to include a sheet with all sorts of questions. We use it every semester, and so they're kind of silly, but it's just a way for them to get to know you and for you to get to know them a little bit better. But we definitely want to jump in to the questions tomorrow night, because the message is loaded, our time will be loaded, and we want to make the most of it. So if you have any questions, please contact me, email me, all that good stuff. Tomorrow night, remember, please be in the youth room around 7 o'clock, and we'll start dismissing for life groups. If you want to come by earlier, grab your book and grab your paper copy of this curriculum. You can do that. It's on the desk when you first walked in the youth room on the left. And so you will have a folder with your name on it in that desk. And we're excited to see you guys tomorrow. Please be praying tomorrow night up. We're praying that students would get to hear the gospel and walk in the truth that they're called to live for Jesus. So thank you guys. I hope you have a blessed night. Those of you who have watched this video all the way through, again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you again.